Picture this, brother. You're finally unwinding after a brutal day at work, feet up on the coffee table, maybe popping open a beer or scrolling through your phone absent-mindedly. The room's dimly lit. Your partner's already in bed or out for the evening, and that familiar itch creeps in. You tell yourself it's just a quick escape, no harm done. The screen flickers to life, and suddenly you're immersed. Endless streams of options, tantalizing thumbnails promising instant gratification with zero effort. No awkward small talk, no risk of rejection. It hits like a rush, making you feel in command. Like this is your private domain where you're the undisputed king, boosting your mood and letting off steam in a world that's constantly demanding more from you. But hold up. What if I revealed that this so-called boost is actually a clever trap? What if every session is silently eroding the very foundation of your strength? This harmless entertainment isn't building you up. It's quietly dismantling you from the inside out. With each click, you're chipping away at your core edge, the unshakable confidence that draws people in, the relentless drive that helps you nail promotions or tackle challenges head-on. Come morning, you roll out of bed feeling foggy, glance at your reflection or your partner across the room, and can't quite pinpoint why the fire feels dimmed, why connections seem a bit more distant. That's the raw betrayal right there. Porn dangles the illusion of ultimate power and release, but in reality, it delivers a gradual slowdown, transforming vibrant, action-oriented men into mere spectators of their own lives. You've probably sensed it yourself, haven't you? That lingering post-session void, a subtle hollowness where satisfaction should be, as if you've bartered away genuine gold for shiny but worthless fool's pyrite that crumbles under pressure. Humor me for just a moment here. It's kinda like ordering what you think is a juicy steak online, only to unwrap a block of tofu. Looks appealing in the promo shots, might even taste okay at first bite, but it leaves you starving for the real thing, wondering where the substance went. Brother, with full empathy and no judgment, I've walked this path myself, convincing my brain it was no big deal until the toll became impossible to ignore. The uncomfortable reality hits hardest in your relationships. It's stealthily rewiring your mind to prioritize pixel-perfect fantasies over authentic, flesh and blood connections. And before you know it, the people closest to you start paying the emotional price, feeling the growing disconnect. For a real-life anchor, let's look at a quick case study. Ryan, a 32-year-old sales powerhouse I know, started using porn as stress relief during high-pressure quarters. Psychologically, it dulled his sharp edge and fueled self-doubt. Neurologically, it led to tolerance that spilled over into his relationship, with his girlfriend eventually walking out over the growing emotional chasms. He brushed it off with a laugh at first. "Hey, it's just blowing off steam, right?" Until the silence in his apartment made it clear it wasn't funny anymore, a classic example of the mechanism claiming another victim. Provocative question to ponder. Are you spotting any of these patterns in your own routine? If so, don't sweat it yet. The warning signs coming up next could be the wake-up call that saves you years of regret and frustration. These red flags don't blast in with fanfare, brother. They slink in quietly, like shadows stretching at sunset. But once you tune in, they're impossible to unsee. Ignore them at your peril, and you might find yourself in deeper water than you bargained for. Start with diminished real-life attraction. Suddenly, even attractive women in your daily orbit feel less captivating, and you catch yourself relying on mental fantasies just to spark any interest. Then there's the erosion of confidence. You start dodging social opportunities or risks, letting personal goals slip through your fingers because the easy digital wins make real efforts seem daunting or pointless. In practice, these manifest as relationship red flags, heated arguments over intimacy frequency, where your partner feels overlooked or undesired, or the secrecy spirals that build layers of guilt like compounding interest on a bad loan you can't pay off. To make it tangible, here's case study 1. Tom, a 35-year-old family-oriented mechanic with a solid work ethic and a once infectious laugh. His warning signs began subtly with lunch break binges that he attributed to needing a break, leading to erectile issues he blamed on job stress. His wife eventually pieced it together, and trust took a massive hit. Relatable as hell, right? He'd joke about it lightly, calling it modern life's little curse. But the punchline fell flat when the arguments escalated and the distance grew. Case study 2. Ethan, just 22, a college athlete with peak physical form but mounting inner doubts. The signs showed up as a string of hookups that fizzled out quickly, with porn's inflated standards making real connections feel underwhelming. He confided once, "Girls just don't excite me like the videos do. It's like the thrills on mute." Sound familiar? A few more observable examples to watch for. Heightened irritability during porn-free stretches, almost like withdrawal kicking in. Unhealthy obsessions with body image or sexual performance, fueled by constant comparisons. Or preferring isolated solo nights over going out and engaging with potential dates or friends. If any of this is landing with a thud in your chest, that's actually a positive. Awareness is the first step toward flipping the script. But what if external forces are stacking the deck against you? Hang on for the teaser ahead. The societal angle might just blow your mind. Who's really calling the shots here? It's not solely on your shoulders. There's a larger setup at play, designed to keep the cycle spinning. Tech conglomerates engineer their platforms with addictive algorithms in mind, curating feeds that know your preferences better than you do, all to rack up billions in ad revenue and user retention. Meanwhile, broader culture packages it as personal empowerment or self-exploration, subtly normalizing habits that lead to isolation rather than genuine action or fulfillment. The bitter pill? Many societal structures quietly benefit from men who are dulled around the edges. Think passive consumers glued to screens, generating data and dollars instead of disrupting norms or building independent empires. It's not a wild theory. It's economics and design working hand in hand, turning private vulnerabilities into public profits. Tying it back to behaviors, these mixed cultural messages, glorifying freedom while downplaying consequences, often drive guys deeper into underground binges, amplifying the addictive loop without them even realizing it. But here's a spark of hope amid the shadows. Simply recognizing this orchestrated dynamic shifts the power back to you. No finger-pointing or victim mentality needed. Just cold, hard facts to arm your resolve and fuel a smarter fight against the pull. Teaser. Feeling the weight of that collapse yet? The next chapter dives into the emotional rock bottom. But don't worry, it's not all doom. Solutions are on the horizon to pull you out. If you let it run unchecked, brother, the fallout doesn't come with warning lights. It crashes in like a wave you didn't see building. Isolation sets in first. Old friends drift away as you prioritize screen time. Hobbies gather dust, and social circles shrink to solo sessions. Emotionally, it's a wrecking ball. Depression rolls in from those repeated dopamine crashes, leaving you numb, while anxiety amps up every minor setback into a full-blown crisis. In relationships, it turns into outright turmoil. Partners pick up on the detachment, sparking ultimatums, trust-eroding accusations, or even mutual drifts toward affairs born from unmet needs. often culminating in painful breakups or divorces that ripple through families. Case study for context. Mark, a 45-year-old veteran seeking post-service stability, turned to porn to fill emotional voids, but it escalated to isolation, a shattered marriage, and nights staring at the ceiling in despair. "I felt like an empty shell of the man I used to be," he shared, his voice still carrying the weight. Another snapshot. Liam, a rising young executive in his late 20s, saw his career momentum stall from mental fog and lack of focus, with his once promising marriage dissolving amid tears and unspoken regrets. The collapse isn't always a spectacle. Sometimes it's a quiet, creeping ruin that steals your purpose bit by bit. But hey, a touch of dark humor to lighten it. At least hitting rock bottom gives you a firm spot to push off from. It's the ultimate rebound opportunity if you're ready to grab it. You absolutely can pivot from here. The practical solutions are up next, packed with hope and actionable steps. Time for the unfiltered truth bomb, brother. The one that stings but sets you free. Porn isn't the benign pastime it's marketed as. It's a stealth thief targeting your masculinity, hijacking your brain chemistry to keep you in check and under control. Many men grapple with this silently, but few openly acknowledge how it systematically strips away confidence, deepens emotional rifts, and weakens those vital bonds that define a fulfilling life. The controversy stirs here. That popular notion of everything in moderation often crumbles because the system is engineered to hook you deeper, not let you dip in casually. Pseudo-philosophically, it's like trading your core essence and vitality for fleeting echoes that vanish at dawn, leaving you chasing shadows instead of substance. But flip the script. Here's the hopeful twist. You're far from doomed or defined by this. Awareness alone is a powerful first step, shining light on the shadows and paving the way for real change. You've got the inner strength. It's just waiting to be unleashed. Teaser. Ready for the turnaround? The final framework delivers masculine, stoic tools to reclaim your power. Stay tuned. Brother, you're built tougher than this challenge. Time to harness that inner warrior with a stoic resolution that turns the tide. The key? Commit to a cold turkey quit and lean into the discomfort. True growth thrives in the grind, not the easy outs. Here's the masculine framework to rebuild. Discipline as your cornerstone. Hit the weights to recalibrate your brain chemistry naturally. Incorporate daily meditation to master urges, and prioritize real-world connections to rekindle authentic desire. Science backs a 90-day reset window. Your neural pathways start healing, libido rebounds stronger, and that primal fire ignites anew. Practical protocol to follow. Rise at dawn, no snooze button battles. Crush a 60-minute training session to shift dopamine the healthy way. Blast a cold shower for instant discipline boosts. Journal those fleeting urges without judgment. Cut screens after sunset. And lock in an accountability buddy. Text daily wins and slips for unbreakable support. When it comes to relationships, own it with raw honesty. Sit her down and say, "I've let distractions pull me away, but I'm choosing us fully now." Watch as vulnerability rebuilds trust and bonds deepen beyond what you thought possible. A dash of humor to keep it light. That first week might feel like wrestling a bear in hell, but by month 2, you'll be the version of yourself that others quietly envy. Sharper focus, magnetic presence, ready to conquer. Men who've walked this path, they're unstoppable now. Careers soaring, relationships thriving, lives reclaimed with purpose. This is your stoic awakening, brother. It starts with one decision today. Question to ignite it. Are you ready to reclaim your throne? Or will you let the shadows linger a little longer?